Hello, everyone. It's Mia and Lori, and we're here with the nervous system. And there is a class starting next week, the 6th of May, that I'm going to be taking from Lori, and all of you can as well. So, Lori, take it away.
Yeah, Mia, it's just really nice to be back in the self-revolution classroom, self-love revolution classroom, and be here with you and be interacting with people again. We've missed that, and we're excited to be back in here and also to be building towards a really special announcement that's going to come out next week, and some things that we want to share with everybody in our community. So that is coming. But today we wanted to jump on kind of last minute and just start getting people some general information about the nervous system and its importance in the work that you want to do, regardless of what that work looks like, whether that is, hey, I want to feel more peace. I want to feel more contentment. I want to stop feeling overwhelmed all the time. This is such a common thing that I hear from people, and, regardless of what their circumstances are, I just feel overwhelmed by life so much of the time. I would love to be able to do this or that, or achieve, get my health back, or be able to, do something in my career, or, make more money, or have relationships, but they feel overwhelming. It feels overwhelming to put myself out there. It feels overwhelming to do anything. It feels overwhelming to live life as it is right now, let alone try to take on anything else. And so what we need to understand is that overwhelm is a function of our nervous system. It is literally the signal, right? Or the information that our nervous system is living outside of that zone of peace and calm. So when I talk about the nervous system, I like to use the example of having a spectrum, right? So there's a spectrum for our nervous system, and in the middle part here is our zone of what I like to call calm aliveness. It's where we feel peace and contentment. We're not all worked up, we feel like, yeah, everything is okay. I feel safe. I have a felt sense of safety and support. And I'm alive. I'm not checked out. I'm not, just feeling like I need to sit on the couch and just, sink into whatever this feeling of overwhelm. I'm alive, but I'm feeling good in that aliveness. I'm feeling like I can handle everything and I'm a part of it. This is a really special place for us, this place of calm aliveness in the middle of the spectrum. And then, we experience, especially in our modernized world, especially today, as we have taken on and just had to live through so many, right, different challenges. Every day, there's so many challenges, and then we had COVID, and then we have all the political kind of unrest that's going on in the world, let alone the day-to-day things that are happening in our lives. So for many of us, we're living on either side of this calm alive space on the spectrum, and both of these places are survival, whether we're over here and just shut down, kind of frozen, lacking motivation, lacking the, just have that sense of either I'm always running, or I can't seem to just to see the bigger picture. I'm just always putting out fires. I'm very reactionary, feeling like I'm being chased by a lion all day long, and that becomes so regular, and we just get used to that, and we don't even realize what's happening to us or for, in our lives. And so that's why we've, been talking so much lately, you and I, and to the clients that we serve, have been talking to them about how important their nervous system is. And when they live in that place, that beautiful, calm aliveness, then they're able to see the bigger picture. So they have clarity around, what do I want for my life? And they have the ability to kind of see, how do I get there? And I can take on the things, I can do the work that it takes. And even if they don't get rid of all the things in their life, they can grow their capacity so that it's easier to live in that space and to be able to just navigate life in a way that doesn't feel like you're running from a wild animal, you know? Yeah. What have you noticing about, people, this shift that's been happening? I mean, it's always been there. So I don't mean to say like this is all new, and it's always been there. But for me, and I've seen such a shift for people in their nervous systems over the last, 2.5, 3 years, just with everything that's been, compounding just normal life in the modernized world.
Well, we also have been in a pandemic,
Yeah.
right? So that adds added stress, added pressure. I have a question about this. A lot of people have brain fog. Is that part of our
Yeah.
nervous system as well?
Absolutely. A brain fog is one of the biggest things that people complain about when their nervous system is in survival mode. That's what I'm talking about when we lack that clarity. We don't even know. It's like we have, our beautiful self when we are in that place of calm aliveness. It's like we see the bigger picture and we're like, oh, I see what's going on here. My kids are going crazy right now, and I have this work thing that I have to get done, and there's all these chores, and you're in survival mode as you're looking at all these things and feeling overwhelmed by them. And if you could kind of just slip into your place of calm aliveness, right, you'd be able to see, oh, here's what's going on. Here's the best I can do with it, and implement it, right? But when you're in survival mode, you look around and you're like, oh my God, okay, wash these dishes. Oh, they're fighting over here. Okay. And here's my, I'm going to spend this 5 minutes, but I forgot what I was going to say about that. And you're just going kind of from one thing to another. You're putting out fires. And at the end of the day, say you've spent 6 hours trying to achieve something in these 3 areas, and really you've only done, this much of it, right? But if you could access your higher self, move, and in that place, you have clarity. You're not running around in circles. You're not heightened up. And because when you're in that space, you don't have access to the part of your brain that has good ideas, that can, see, how do I want this to turn out? And what power do I have, or, to do it in the best I can? It doesn't mean, I have to do everything perfectly, but what's the best outcome that I could have with, the resources and things? So we can see that when we're in that space, as opposed to just, running around and trying to, we're expending all this energy, and yet we're not making any progress. We're not really doing anything because we're not coming from our higher self that knows what to do.
Mhm.
Yeah. So brain fog is a big one.
The last month or so, my brain cleared up. I had brain fog really bad. I didn't even know it.
Mhm. That's the thing. We
20
often don't know it. We get so used to being in that state. It's like we forget that there could be any other way of being.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To be able to focus in and be clear has been a very interesting space, really interesting. And I know that we're able to heal faster, obviously, because we can retain. People think that healing is just a spiritual thing, or, something like that. It's actually where we have a logical understanding and the rest of the body follows suit as well. And so if we're not working on our nervous system to be calm, we can't get to that space. We can't.
Yeah.
We can't.
Yeah. Not from a mental place, not from an emotional place, but especially because, our whole system, our whole body takes cues from the nervous system. So it's only in the parasympathetic, that middle zone, that calm aliveness, it's only there where we get restful sleep. It's only there that we heal. It's only there where we have optimal digestion. It's only there, all of these things are really dependent on it. Our survival system is incredible and it's beautiful, and it's, thank goodness that we have one, because it has, saved our lives in the past. But it was never meant to be turned on and lived from. It was meant to be a momentary thing that just helped us move out of danger, that helped us run away from the animal, that helped us, fight our enemy. And then we were supposed to come back and return to our normal state. But what's happening is that we never get back to our normal state. We just stay in survival. So we don't heal, our bodies are hugely affected health wise, right? And our sensitivity. So people who are very sensitive to, when your nervous system is in high alert or survival mode, you're very sensitive to lights and sounds and foods and chemicals in foods and toxins in the environment, and everything that we come into contact with, we're much more sensitive to it. And that's, that makes sense, because if we are under some kind of threat, we want to operate that way. But it's never meant to be our normal way of operating. And so there's just, in so many different ways, people who want to heal their health, people who want to just be able to be conscious and feel present, to have a sense of peace and calm and contentment in their life, to be able to create things. When our nervous system is in survival, we can't create new neural pathways. Literally, that's not a function that we can achieve in our survival state. So if we are not creating new neural pathways, that means we can't end habits that are not serving us, and we can't build new habits. So I see a lot of people who are putting in time and effort, and they're trying so hard, but they're like, I just keep doing the same thing day after day. I set these goals for myself. I wake up 3 days later, realize I've not done a single thing towards meeting any of my goals. And that's why this
3 days, those people go weeks and weeks.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
3 days.
But I mean, like constantly, renewing that commitment to do this.
They're like, I haven't done it, and it's been 3 or 4 weeks,
Yes.
Yeah.
And I mean, even our sense of time is so different when we're in survival mode versus when we're in, we have, the sense that this is like forever, whatever's going on right now will always be, this is eternity now, so everything is not only affected, but dependent on a healthy nervous system when you want to live your best life. When you want to make any kinds of change at all, this is the piece. Once you get this down, then you can go on and move into that transformational space and do the things that you want. And what those things are. So many people right now are saying, I don't know, I just lack any meaning and purpose. I'm just walking around and, I'm living the same day. Life is living me instead of, me living life. I think it was, I think you gave such a cool example. You were saying, you're riding around in a car with no driver. You're in the back seat, right? You're the passenger essentially, and in a car with no driver. And you just feel completely, hopeless.
Lost.
Lost. Yeah. So I know, we have this class coming up starting on May 6th, the Rewire Your Nervous System class. And I know that, you've got such beautiful practices for your nervous system, and you've always incorporated this into your work. And so, as we've been talking, you decided, hey, I want to jump into that class that's starting on Friday, May 6th. And, kind of sharpen my tools and just learn a little bit more, because, we're always finding out more things too about the nervous system. And so this last year, I completed a number of certifications and training in the nervous system. And so this is an opportunity for us to bring that to people and for them to be, exposed to kind of some of this latest understanding.
I'm very excited about it.
Yeah, me too. Yeah. And so I was also really excited. You said, I want to offer this to my community, because in all the work that they're doing, I'm tired of seeing people spin their wheels.
That's exactly it. We have to work on the nervous system before we can absorb and heal. Otherwise, we're just, like you said, spinning our wheels. In the conversation, it was mentioned about how when the nervous system is off, it also messes up our digestive system. So if we're not digesting our food properly, we're not getting the proper nutrition, and also we get toxic.
Yeah.
When our food isn't digested, and part of that goes to the brain and all over. So it really is a whole, you and I have, as we've pulled apart all the healing modalities that we do and all of that, as you showed me, it's the most important one to start with. And then we go through all the other emotional stuff that helps us heal and all of that. So I'm really excited about this coming next week.
Yeah.
And the fact that we will be having it as our normal work in everything that we do with our clients.
Yep. No more spinning our wheels. Everybody is going to receive that as part of their, part of the work that they're doing is coming from a healthy, strong nervous system that is enables them to then go ahead and do the things that we're teaching them to do with their thoughts, with their emotions, with their, just setting boundaries and, taking inspired action and all the things. So whatever that looks like for each individual.
Yeah. And what's really great is that you've been doing this a long time with your people. So it's beautiful. It's not like it's, because when you said you got a lot of certifications last year, you did, but you've also, what people don't know that I know, you've also worked as a mentor in trauma groups and big things and all of that. So it's not just like some healers where they're just like, oh, let's just touch this. You dug in because you saw it, and it's incredibly valuable.
It was the missing piece. Yeah. And as you mentioned, trauma, which I really call just nervous system overwhelm, because that's all it is. Trauma is just for that individual, they experienced something that was overwhelming for their nervous system in that moment. So it was just more than they could handle in that moment. So that could be a lot of things. And it's also the accumulation of things. So it is not just, one event. A terrible car accident or a witness of abuse or victim of abuse or living through a natural disaster. It is literally as when we were babies, if we struggled and didn't have that attached caregiver, or if teasing on the bus and being in that situation for a long period of time, not having support, it's literally so many different things that can put us in that place of overwhelm. And once we're in that place, we're more susceptible. So, as we live through life and have not had the tools to process some of those earlier, experiences, then they're still there. And then everyday life builds on them. And then at some point, if we're not already in the overwhelm, we'll reach that point. And so that was the important piece, understanding why do so many of the people that I'm working with, why do they have trauma? What is the relationship there? And then why is it harder for them? The few people that I would work with that didn't have those kinds of backgrounds and had a healthy nervous system, like they were just able to get in there. Oh, that's why I do that. Okay. All right. Let me do this work. Let me build this new neural pathway. And they would just fly through everything. And I thought, what is the connection here? So that's why, it was out of necessity that I had to figure out what is the relationship between, the overwhelm or the trauma or both, the accumulated stress that people feel, the nervous system, and our ability to shift and change. So it's been, a wonderful learning experience, both experiential through my work with people and also, outside through the incredible healers, teachers, and others that have been there to teach me and to help me learn the connections.
This is really important stuff. And I've said it only a few times, and I'm sure it will probably become part of our stuff. And unfortunately,
Yeah.
as a child, my childhood trauma was severe. And as a result, my nervous system was way off. I never slept, it was just and my heart is bigger. It grew bigger because of my nervous system being off. It functions just the same as everyone else's, just in a different way. Gets the job done, obviously. Here I am.
Yeah.
But these are things that we don't realize because we have an advancement in medical stuff. It was able to be seen that the first time I found out about that my heart was enlarged was only in 2019. And I had been doing a lot of heart work. I'm talking about with doctors, not with spiritual stuff, having my heart ultrasound and examined and treadmills and stuff like that. No one told me that my heart was enlarged until 2019. So that shows us that as we develop as a society, this is a very powerful, important thing that we need to focus on.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
We need to teach it to our little ones too, as we begin to implement this to shift our lives. It needs to be taught to all ages.
Yes, yes. And it's like once you experience it, right now, people watching the video may just have a difficult time understanding, like, what would that even look like? How would my life be different? But once you experience that in that sense, of safety and support and the clarity and the satisfaction that comes from, deciding what you're going to do, deciding how you want to live life, and then being able to live that way. It's incredible, staying in that balance, not feeling overwhelmed anymore, feeling like, what life is asking of me, I have plenty of capacity for, and then some. Yeah. And that's what we want, we want people to start their transformational work from that space, because when you do, it's a much, much easier road. And so that's, I agree. It is extremely exciting. And I love that we're going to be bringing it more to people together. But the starting point is this class that's starting on May 6th. It is 6 weeks long, rewire your nervous system. And its sole focus is, how do you learn more about your own capacity? How do you build capacity? How do you learn to live life within your capacity? And that there's always that beautiful balancing act, that dance that we all do. But when we learn the dance, we learn the moves, it is really beautiful dance. And it allows us to live a life that we're meant for, that greatest version of ourselves. Right?
And you teach this with your with all your classes and your courses.
Yeah.
And also we've been teaching it in the Feminine Freedom Project. So, and it's been amazing.
It is. And it's so, brings a lot of revelation to people, like, oh my gosh, I thought there was something wrong with me. I thought, I couldn't change because I'd been trying for so long. And now I see that it was just my nervous system that was, keeping me from being able to shift and change and follow through with things. Because so many of the people that we serve, they kind of know what to do. They have a lot of tools, but it's like, I can't seem to implement them. I can't seem to bring them into my everyday. And it's because when you're living in survival, you're not supposed to be working on that kind of stuff. You're supposed to be running or fighting, so it's really incredible work. And I'm so happy that, we get to bring this to the community, and also, bringing it at almost half the cost, because because this community is a special one to me too. They've been so generous to allow me to.
Do you want to say how much it is and where people can find the sign up?
Yeah. So what we'll do is when we send out this recording and when we put it up, I'll put the sign up link. It's $297 for all the people who come through that link through Mia's community. So that is important, to come through that way. But it's just to kind of really briefly go over the inclusions. It's a 6-week course where we meet live weekly. So it's group coaching every single week for 6 weeks. As Mia said, she's going to be in there as well. Just offering, as a student, offering that love and support and being present with us, which is a gift in and of itself. There are 6 weeks of education. So there's 6 modules where you can learn more about your nervous system, how it's affected, how maybe your past experiences have affected it. And just, having that knowledge helps you understand as you're doing the other work, how it's impacting your nervous system. And when you have that bit of knowledge, it's like you can see it. And so you're not just going through the motions. You're like, wow, you're connecting the dots. You're like, it has this effect on my nervous system, and really getting to know it and making a connection. Most people are shut off from their bodies in a big way. And
Yeah.
our bodies hold so much wisdom for us. So that's another really beautiful benefit of the work, is like you get to hear from your body, maybe for the first time in a long time, you know, and it has incredible wisdom for you. So it really opens you up to the wisdom of the body. You'll also understand some of the physical aspects, the biology of what your past traumas or accumulated stress has, you know, kind of wreaked havoc on your body, on your energy system, you know, which is responsible for everything. If you don't have the energy, if your body's not making the ATP, which is the energy currency, then your detoxification system is not working at its best. Your immune system is not working at its best. Your digestion, your everything, right? So that's an important piece of it as well. And we learned some other tools and modalities for just kind of being present with the nervous system and understanding how you can go about shifting out of survival and into your space of calm aliveness. Another special feature of the program is we spend the 6 weeks building a somatic practice. And somatic experiencing is really just working with the nervous system on a deep level. It is, there's 42 separate exercises. They're short, between 5 and 10 minutes a day, so that you can work them into, even if you're, you know, super busy, you've probably got 5 minutes a day to devote to your nervous system. So these are like the tools. This is how I'm going to be able to shift myself out of survival back into my space of calm aliveness, and how I'm going to be able to stay there longer and longer and start spending, you know, more and more of my time, so that that's my norm, as opposed to, you know, survival state. So it's those 42 daily videos, it's the weekly coaching, group coaching, it's the 6 modules of education. And yeah, it really is. And it's the work is so important. And you know, especially for the live, like I would feel good about just offering the videos, just the modules and the assignments for $297. Like I would feel totally good about that, but there's more needed.
And there's coaching and everything else.
There's coaching, and then the whole somatic practice, the 42 different videos. So I feel really good about being able to offer it there. And it's largely because, you know, like we said, tired of people spinning their wheels, putting in time and effort, money into trying to transform and feeling just, you know, like they didn't get anywhere. So we're gonna do this. We're gonna help people learn how to support themselves and live in that beautiful space.
Beautiful, wonderful. Thank you so much, Lori. And everyone, we will be sending that out later today. Thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah. Thank you guys for being here live, and all of you on the replay. You know, we'll have ways, we'll put in there, you know, how to contact us to talk a little bit more. If you have questions or something, you know, we definitely want to answer it. But it's going to be fun. You know, we're going to be together with Mia in the classroom, and
I'll behave.
Probably you have to go to the corner a couple times.
That's
but,
right. Me and Sugar, my dog.
Absolutely.
All right. I'm going to pause this or turn this off, and then we will ask some questions.